start the recording, switch screens. All right, guys, welcome back to a session of Arcadia. I just have a couple quick announcements. First being that today's session could be actually rather short. We're going to spend probably a good 30 minutes to an hour of it on character creation for a reason which should become rather self-evident very quickly into the episode. The other sort of announcement I have is, as I said yesterday, I've released a mission compendium for Star Trek Adventures, actually two of them now. If you're interested in either of them, they're available free of charge on my Patreon, and if you need a link to it, I will be happy to give you one. Other than that, I'll just go ahead and say it. If Hai doesn't show up for this session, there will be a player opening in the Arcadia, and that means I will be recruiting a new, possibly chief engineer or someone else. If that comes to pass, I will put details on my Twitter and in the subreddit and in all the relevant places. But without any further ado, why don't we have Klein? I believe you have the opening log.
I do. Okay. Security Chief's Log, Stardate 51627.3. For the past couple of months, both Thunderchild and the Arcadia have been docked to Starbase 211, undergoing comprehensive refits. This offers us an odd period of peace during a time where our brothers in arms in the 6th Fleet are fighting skirmishes daily with the Dominion along the border. I believe they'll be able to hold the line while we're gone, but according to new intel we received, that can very quickly change. While we've been docked, I've noticed that there have been large amounts of crew transfers on both ships. Due to the fact that I've been face-to-face with someone from the Mirror Universe, and the fact that the Dominion has the Changelings, I remain on guard, but I have to believe that this is in the best interest of Starfleet, and in the best interest to our fight ahead. End log.
Alright, so, as Klein has said, you guys have been at Starbase 211 for the past couple months. Starbase 211 is a guard tower class station, which means it's large enough to actually refit the Arcadia. And yeah, you guys have been pretty much just doing whatever you can do to keep busy while the war rages not too far away. So we're just going to very quickly go down the line, see what everyone has been up to for the last couple months, and then we'll go into a few scenes with the captain. So let's start at the bottom. So Klein, what have you specifically been up to during this time?
What would the facilities on Starbase 211 be like for, say, like, getting counseling and also, like, training in medical fields?
Well, it would have more than one counselor aboard. It would also have I guess you could call it a comprehensive medical staff. It's definitely better than what Bashir had on DS9.
Okay. A pretty good portion of my time would be spent getting some kind of counseling for the events on board the Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when I'm not training with Bryn, maybe getting some training in other medical fields on board the Starbase.
Okay. All right. And then Janice, it's been a while since we've heard from you, buddy. What have you been up to?
Well, see, I went down to the replicator and I got a seat generated that fits my butt in it perfectly, and I paid a worker that that when they install that new captain seat, make sure they put in the pads that fit my derriere just perfectly, because I want to make sure that my future seat holds me nice and tight.
Nice. All right. Anything else we should be made aware of?
I've been doing a lot of work in the simulator to prepare my piloting skills for the Thunderchild.
All right. Next up, we have Crowley. Crowley, what have you been up to during this time?
Going over mission reports from the ships that have been going on the skirmishing. Anything I can help with intel gathering or distribute information. Offering suggestions to move supply lines around. just to get resources sent out of the front faster if possible. Going over personal reports, and 3 months that we're here?
Two and
Roughly
a
with the
half,
start date?
more or less.
2.5? About halfway through that, I'm going to be approaching the captain, I guess, halfway through this.
All right. Well, you can certainly do so.
Yeah, I guess I'll find the captain. Where are we? Are we staying on the ship or are we off ship?
That's entirely up to you.
All right, I'll ask the captain to meet me at his ready room.
Enter.
Captain?
Oh, please take a seat. I'm just reviewing some intelligence reports. I'll turn my screen off and turn to face you.
I've been doing the same. That's actually what I want to talk to you about. I'm probably pissing off Starfleet Intel with what I've been doing lately. I've been hounding them for information on POW camps, deployments, possible information of where anyone might be held. And I'm going to give a couple of pads. One pad is personal for the ship. The other one is 3 different ideas I had to try and find correlers.
So I guess we can just jump ahead to what I've been doing. And so for every 2 shifts I have each day, I'm spending one of them taking over for... Does this starbase have like a listening post, since we're so close to the border?
Oh yeah, I think it has more than a comprehensive suite of listening devices pointed at the border.
Okay, so one of the things I used to do when the hood was getting repaired, that's when I was at EXO, I would work at a listening post at a big starbase. And so what I've been doing with one of my 2 shifts a day is I've been taking over the night shift as the commander for this station's listening post. Mm-hmm. And I've not been asking for any special favors. I've just been doing the job with the ulterior motive of kind of seeing if I notice anything that might help me find Carruthers. But it's also work I'm familiar with, and it helps me, it helps keep my mind active and not it's a task to do, which is nice. It's a routine. And so, given what I've been doing, I'd like to look over the stuff Crowley received from other intel officers.
Okay. So, as you'll probably be able to tell very quickly, the information is not a whole lot. It's probably self-evident in just looking at the language of this the information on the pad that the people giving Crowley this information aren't happy to do so. It's probably taken a lot of blackmail and or prodding to get them to give him this much. And you probably
blackmail?
Are surprised. I don't know.
Never.
I don't know.
Side-eye glancing, like, never.
But needless to say, there's not a whole lot here. While Starfleet is keeping a tab on some POW camps that they are aware of, it's one of those things where, you know, the order of you're not allowed to go looking for him keeps coming up.
But we know we have rumors of some POW camps, but no clues as to which one Crowley might be in, which ones are even real, and we've also been told not to look for him.
For Carruthers, yes.
Okay. So, Commander, I'm doing the same thing you are. I'm just doing it a different way, and I'm sure you already know this, but I don't think either of us is getting anywhere the way we are. And if we want to find Carruthers, we need a change of tactics.
Well, I had one in mind that's off the records. The Arcadia pissed off the Dominion. I'm sure that they would love to have another member in their camps. another hostage, hopefully. I'm betting on the fact that they might take me as a prisoner and not just execute me on the spot. I've been contemplating a mission where I leave the ship, I get captured, and we'll figure it out from there. But it's not much of a plan.
No, it isn't. I think there's a better use for you, Commander. Nothing's final yet, but I do need to meet with Starfleet brass. There is a possible promotion in my future, and I might have another job for you. But one thing I've learned in my career is it's helpful to work with others and to share. And sometimes Starfleet doesn't have all the answers. Now, if any of my friends in the Klingon Empire have any connections I can use, that might be an avenue we can pursue, but not yet.
Well, I'll keep my ears open and keep an eye out for any information that we could gather. I might bring Tivna in on this.
I'm sure she's working on it already. I've given her orders as such, but she has other duties as well. Commander, though, we should remember our priority is to get Carruthers back. It doesn't mean we have to be the ones to do it.
That's true. But he's one of ours.
He is.
And
if we get the chance to be able to be the ones to do it, you'd better believe I'm going to take that opportunity. But for now, keep your head a little lower. Keep working. Maybe don't burn too many bridges. So one day you're going to need them. And start returning some of the favors you've borrowed.
fair enough. Well, first I'm going to do is actually take some rest. I've been getting 3 hours of sleep. I've been pulling almost triple shifts.
It sounds like a great idea.
First I gotta see the... Do I have to see him? No.
Pardon?
Oh, pushing myself like I have been has been causing me to feel more... And I'll just hold up his left arm and make a fist, like more pain. But it's fatigue.
Tell me about it. I can't stand my chair anymore. I've been having back issues. Just one petty reason I wish Carruthers were still here. It's really messing with my prosthetics.
Speaking of prosthetics, that ensign made a paper about the coalescing abilities of synthetic membranes with other particulates of other DNA structures. On his paperwork, led the doctors that made my arm compatible with me. His research was the reason why I still have an arm. But that's not all.
That would have been years ago.
Well, he's an old man.
True, but I still think of him as an ensign.
He's never been one to push himself to try to get further. He's been happy just doing what he does because he does his projects on the side. He does his work fine from all of his records, a couple of tardiness here and there, but nothing that has been something that would cause him to get a reprimand. But I researched him a bit too, to see if there's anything that I could keep an eye on, information that we get from any certain prisoners doing certain things. And all the intel gathered, I managed the bit I got. But when Starfleet Medical reached out to him to do a paper on him, he said he didn't care. What he did and discovered was a byproduct of his work. He didn't think it was a success. He didn't think the fact that we can now make synthetic limbs for other races was a success. It's a byproduct of his own work. It's just a side effect. He's an interesting individual.
I can't tell you I ever really understood Carruthers well. I wish I had. I think it might make my job easier now, but...
Speaking of that, have we figured out what the blood means?
Not at all. I haven't, at least. As far as I can tell, we're just supposed to look after his projects? I don't know.
I'll make sure that the repair crew stay away from his lab, or at least they're observed when they're entered for any maintenance.
So about that, about a month ago, some Starfleet members, they didn't identify what exact branch they were with, but they came with orders and they pretty much packed up all of Crothers' stuff and took it away.
Everything?
Everything.
Including his computers?
Including his computers.
I wouldn't have been able. I probably wouldn't have been able to stop them from doing this, and I didn't want to flex that kind of weight around.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I would have done, is I would have tested each and every one of those personnel to see if they were a changeling.
Okay, yeah, good news, no changelings. These are probably either, I mean, between the two of you, you could probably gather that either they work for the Daystrom Institute, they work for Starfleet Intelligence, or some combination of the two.
And do I know who the orders came from?
Yeah, some admiral back on Earth who, if you need a name, I can give you one, but it would have checked out.
Okay. And no strange disappearances in his history?
Nope. As far as you know, he is a living, breathing human, not a changeling.
Okay. Well, Crowley, perhaps... I don't know, but hopefully his equipment is in better hands now than it is with us. We don't have someone else like Carruthers on the ship to look after. Bryn was doing an excellent job, but it's not his specialty, and he has much else to do. Wherever it is now, we have to put faith in Starfleet that it's in good hands. Because if we can't do that, we don't have much.
I hope so. I hope we get something going on this war. Tired of seeing names of lost ships. I want to see more victories than retreats.
Commander, how are you still feeling with your telepathic and empathetic abilities? Is it still concerning you?
As long as we're aware of it, and I've been trying to work on, how do I want to describe it? A room around myself. I can still hear everyone, but I can focus on myself. The one major incident that's caused me to realize that I'm having issues separating my emotions from others was when Earth was attacked again by the Borg. I made a stupid call to retreat back to Earth. We were days away, if not weeks or more. By the time we got there, what could we do done?
Commander, in your assessment, have I made any mistakes as captain?
Honestly?
Honestly.
You stepped a couple toes, I'd say.
Okay. Do you think I'm aware of those mistakes?
I think you are.
That's all. That's the best you can ever do. Everyone will always make mistakes. That is a part of life. But what's important when you're in command is that those mistakes never interfere with your ability to command the crew.
That is true. I'm just trying to work on a way that my emotions and my decisions aren't influenced by the crew. Not in that sense of panic, dread, or fear. I'll take the advice under consideration, but I need a rock. And I'm working on it. It's getting better.
I can't say I completely understand, but if I'd have to put my best guess, I feel like the answer's probably somewhere in between where you are and what you want.
What I want right now, and most, is for everyone to survive.
That's a good first step.
I don't want to lose any more people.
Would it help you to have some kind of coach for this particular issue?
Training as an empath has to develop as a child. I was receiving training from my mother, but unfortunately, if you know my record, that stopped. And I was adopted by a human family and moved to an isolated colony. That wasn't helpful in the long term. I've been talking with Nilan through correspondences, and I've reached out to a few specialists on Beta Z. And I've been given some material on how to focus with my telepathic and empathic abilities. It just takes time. It's like riding, what's the Earth term? A bicycle. Once you figure it out, you'll never forget, but I'm still dealing with training reels right now.
Hey, just know that it's a lie that you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I'm also half Vulcan. I'm not that old yet, in terms of their lifespan.
Fair enough.
By the way, do I still have that gray streak in my hair?
Unless you got rid of it.
Sweet. No, I'm keeping it. No, I imagine it's like Reed Richards along the sideburns.
I've definitely heard one or two lower deck people, when they didn't think I could hear, call you Pepe Le Pew.
Nice.
Who's that?
Oh, I'm not telling you this. This is just something the captain overhears when no one knows the captain's there. I'm not going sneaking around, but I might be in like 10, our version of 10 forward, and kind of just not noticed.
Well, speaking of getting noticed, Captain, your yeoman says, or at least he calms in, and he says, Sir, Admiral Chivalok would like to see you in his office on the double.
I'll head over. Did you mention what it's for?
No, but I think by now you know the Admiral doesn't really like waiting.
All right, I'm on my way. Crowley, are you busy right now?
No, I was about to get some sleep.
All right, just keep a communicator near you.
All
right, yeoman, I'm on my way. You can inform the Admiral.
All right. So we cut to the Admiral's office, and you are allowed entrance, and sitting on the other side of the desk is Admiral Chivalok, and I think this is his first time we actually see him on screen. So for those unaware, Admiral Chivalok is a Xindi reptilian. He has been the admiral for this sector of space for probably a good 10 years, so it's not like he's some fresh admiral who's never been on the front lines before. But he's definitely, shall we say, abrasive would be the proper term. And you've had a few interactions with him by now, Captain, and you know that he likes to get straight to the point. But he says, come, sit. We have something important to discuss.
Thank you, Admiral. And I must say, you run a tight ship on the starbase.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Tell me, have you given any thought to the captain's inquiry I sent to you a few weeks ago, particularly of who might be a suitable candidate for the captain of the Thunderchild?
I have. I've been speaking with Commander Foster, and I've come to a conclusion that I think Commander Crowley may be a suitable choice for the Thunderchild's commanding officer, at least temporarily. I wouldn't take him out of the role before the end of the war, but it's something the commander needs, and I could make great use of Foster on my own ship.
So, it's hard to tell with Xindi Reptilian about their facial expressions, or at least I never really picked up on them as myself. But you can tell that his face hardens a little bit. And he picks up one of the pads on his desk and says, So, Crowley, and you don't think that once we give him this ship, he's not going to go off like a cowboy half-cocked and try to rescue his precious Crothers, do you?
I don't think so. Of course, course, it would help to, at least while he's beginning, to give him a bit of a tight leash. If that's something you're worried about, Admiral.
Oh, it is. Because the last thing I need is a Defiant class leaving the front lines and leaving our flank exposed. Which brings me to this next item. And he very casually kind of tosses you a pad. And on it, you see that this is a tentative promotion office, or potential promotion offer for you specifically, Captain, from the rank of Captain to either Rear Admiral or Commodore, whichever title you would prefer.
Which are both functionally similar.
They are basically the same thing.
All right. I'm scrolling through. Wow, what would be my responsibilities according to this tentative promotion?
Well, you would be in charge of not only the Arcadia, but you would also be in charge of the Thunderchild as well as one other ship. The other ship is a unnamed Akira class that is on its way from Earth at the moment. But since it's not going to be... So let me back up a little bit here. So the idea behind this promotion is this is going to open up sort of a mission sort of operating arena. You will directly control the Thunderchild and the Arcadia, but this Akira class, which I'm still cooking up, will be something you send off on missions, and it either does well or it doesn't. And it's basically a way to sort of give you an Admiralty level campaign without actually commanding a full-on fleet, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So as far as the Thunderchild is concerned, you would be sort of in game mechanics terms. It would be coming with you on missions unless you specifically sent it off to do something else. And the idea being that if we don't have enough people to do a main Arcadia sort of session, we can do a Thunderchild session instead.
Okay. Admiral, I am interested. But in full disclosure, and you probably already know this, but I feel it's my due diligence to tell you that there are a few possible conflicts of interest. I don't believe there will be issues, though.
Well, you brought
First,
them up,
of course,
so they must be important, so what are they?
First, of course, I know that Crowley has been given a few warnings, and just be aware that I am also very concerned with Crothers. He was and still is my crewman, and I am responsible for him. I very much want to see him returned. However, I understand that the responsibilities of Admiral may not always make that possible.
Chivlock just kind of stares at you and says, I would think by now, Captain, you know the value that, as important as one individual is, sometimes you have to let them go.
Of course.
I mean, you would not be having your current rank if you did not pass the command test, which I don't think I need to remind you entails sending someone to their death.
Oh no, I remember. Secondly, there's the subject of Trill. Now I understand it's not a Federation homeworld. I had to get recommendation from a command fleet officer even to enter Starfleet Academy. But it is on the front line with the Federation. And I think we'll both agree that as long as it stays out of Dominion hands, that is in the Federation's interest. Now, you've not set the Arcadia to that sector, but that is something that will always weigh on my mind.
Understandable. Is there any other conflicts of interest that you might want to address at this current moment?
No, that's all, Admiral, and I don't think either will be an issue.
Very well. And he kind of rummages in his desk and he pulls out the black bar with the gold dots and he kind of just slides it across the desk at you and he says, we don't really have time for a ceremony, so you'll have to excuse my bluntness. There's your promotion, Commodore. And here, he passes over another gold dot. Give that to Crowley if you really think he's ready for it. But be absolutely sure that he is, because if I have to send ships after either you or him, your heads will not only be on a platter back in front of the top brass at Starfleet in Seattle, Is it Seattle? No, San Francisco. I will bust you all the way back down to an ensign, if not a penal colony. Do I make myself clear?
Absolutely.
Very good. You're dismissed. Oh, and congratulations.
Thank you, Admiral.
Yeah, he pointedly turns in his chair so that he doesn't have to watch you leave.
All right. Well, I will head over, and I'll tap into. Is there a way to check if Crowley's sleeping without waking him up?
Not really. No.
All right. I'll wait until morning.
Okay. All right. Where would you like to meet him?
So, what's the situation with the Starbase? They're both in a wet dock or dry dock.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And is there like a big common room between the two ships in that big like central column?
There would be so many meeting places that if you wanted to go somewhere in particular, it would be very easy for you to do so.
I'm talking like a big open area between the two.
Sort of like an atrium. There's something like that.
Like even if it's just like a big like cargo area for parts for the two ships. As long as there's
go ahead.
Well, as long as there's like enough space for people to like stand in a large group.
Oh yeah, there's definitely room because it is a dry dock, which means they have to have some sort of storage nearby. So yeah, excuse me. There are definitely some cargo bays that are open, and they're just kind of actually more like just places where pallets and materials are stacked. And there's also more than one meeting room, which is probably larger than the Arcadia's 10 forward or whatever we're calling your lounge. Needless to say, there's a lot of open spaces on the Starbase. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but you see that sort of area above where the Arcadia and the Thunderchild are. That is actually a terrestrial enclosure where there is a sort of living, breathing atmosphere, an actual city, and other facilities that are quote-unquote open to the air.
Okay, so I'm sending out. So what I'm going to do is tonight I go out and send off requests to everyone who's being transferred to and from the two ships, letting them know that that's happening,
Okay.
and then they'll need to know to show up in the room between the two ships at 1000.
Okay.
And then I'll send another message to Crowley to meet to have him meet me at 9.
All right. So let me just do some very quick mapping work here, because I thought I had this map up, and apparently I did not. So while we do that, out of curiosity, is there any other sort of crew transfers that are going to the Thunderchild now that we're actually sort of quote-unquote on screen? Is there... Who else is going to the Thunderchild? Let me just ask that.
I don't think I'm sending any main crew.
Okay.
Unless someone wanted to go over to the Thunderchild, but
And I guess, yeah, that's what I'm asking, is anyone else going to the Thunderchild?
Ooh. Do I get a promotion if I go over there?
You do, but it wouldn't be to commanding officer.
Uh,
You could probably be first officer.
ooh. I mean, if that was offered, there might be a Janice would be go, sure, not a problem. And then the other guy I got could flip over here if you want him to.
I mean, that's kind of the question here. This is sort of an open in-character, out-of-character question of, does anyone want to transfer to the Thunderchild at this point? And I would say that as long as your reputation is above a 10, you can transfer with a promotion. As long as we're not talking like commander to captain or lieutenant commander to commander.
Except for me.
Except for you, yeah. You are pretty much going to get the promotion if you go over.
Donick
Question
will
is,
go over.
would the new captain be okay with my selection? That's the next thing, because it would be him saying yes, no, whether my character be worthy or not.
Well, I tell you what. Why don't we handle that in character? Because I think the captain is basic. Well, Commodore now. Well, what do you want to be? Do you want to be Rear Admiral or do you want to be Commodore? Let me ask that question.
Commodore Tahan or Rear Admiral Tahan?
I think I've already technically been a Commodore. At the Battle of Narendra? Wasn't I already a Commodore?
You were a temporary one of sorts.
There's a field.
I'll go Rear Admiral. Let's do it.
All right. I'll change your token as I get everything ready. But while I do that, you guys can do your scene on the station overlook. So everyone you have asked to gather has done so at this point. And
well, I wanted to meet with Crowley first.
Okay, well, you pull Crowley aside as you see him walk into the area.
Yeah. And then, did you say if he takes the job, he has to take a promotion?
Yes, he would be promoted to captain.
Okay. All right. Commander, I'm glad you could join me.
Captain?
I think it's going to mean a lot to these people who are transferring to have both of us here for their... sometimes a little bit of pomp and circumstance is required.
Yeah, I noticed that some of the crew of the Arcadia are transferring over, and some of the Thunderchild are transferring over to us. We're swapping.
That's right. Commander, you should know I was very serious when I was offering you a chance to both grow as an officer and an opportunity to get a better grasp on the problems you were facing.
He just raises a very Vulcan eyebrow at you.
As you might notice, I've lost a couple pips, but I've gained a bar around them. And, well, one of those old pips I might have for you, if you want it. This is going to give us an opportunity to get Carruthers. Not immediately. And it's going to give you an opportunity to grow.
You had me at Carruthers. I know that Starfleet will probably keep an eye on me, considering the last communication I got from them basically told me that if I keep pushing it, they're going to revoke my intel access. So...
They're not the only ones, Crowley. I will also be keeping an eye on you. You're in my fleet.
I'll do it.
All right. I'll hold out my hand, and it's got one shiny gold pip.
I'll take it and look at it for a second.
And so it's actually not that shiny. It's a little dull. It shines up nice, though, if you do it for a second. And after you put it on, that was actually mine. Kept it from the old uniform.
Well, I look forward to serving under you as a captain now. Rear Admiral, Commodore?
You can call me Athos.
That's going to take some getting used to.
Just don't do it in front of the crew.
Yes, sir. It's going to be interesting. I think the smaller ship will complement me more, because I get a better handle of things as well. The Nova,
Thoughts exactly.
Nova was good. 800 plus people, though, all feeling panic. Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I tried to get you the original Arcadia, but they're still working on it, and, well, wiser heads prevailed, and the Thunderchild's maybe a better choice for this climate.
Well, we got a shield, and now we have a sword.
Are you getting poetic on me now?
A little bit. I've been reading up on Earth histories.
All right. Well, go over there, and your first assignment is to give my Yeoman the transfer orders, and let him to go find that electronic whistle.
Very well. And I'll go Poke the yeoman. Like, hey, go do this.
Oh, one last thing.
Hmm?
For your executive officer, I'm going to be taking on Foster as my own. I want someone who's familiar with the Thunderchild's crew with me to help me make command decisions. But there are a lot of candidates for the Thunderchild's XO spot, and it's my belief that Janice would be interested. However, I was planning on grooming him for the spot on the Arcadia as well. Not immediately. But it is now your power, if you want, to use him.
I might have an unorthodox idea.
I look forward to seeing that one and several more in the future.
I'll keep you apprised, though.
And if I may quote the Admiral, lay off on the cowboy, not too much.
Oh no. I'm going to have my first officer tell me I can't go on away missions anymore.
Get used to it. It's hell. Ignore him from time to time.
Will do.
Because, every once in a while you gotta slay a dragon.
Captain, that means so many different things on so many worlds, but I know what you mean.
Somewhere
What
in
does
the
it
back,
mean?
your yeoman shouts, "Phrasing, Rear Admiral! Phrasing!"
Is that a phrase? Like, out of game, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll have to talk off the stream.
Oh my goodness.
He walked into it. He phrasinged himself. This is a thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
Because there's that time Tahan killed a dragon.
Oh, no. I know what you
Went on
meant, but we'll talk
went on
after
enough.
the stream.
Alright.
So, yeah. I guess before the whole ceremony, Crowley, do you want to approach, say, Janice or anyone else for the first officer thing, or do you want to wait till after the ceremony?
I want to wait till after.
Okay. So, I'm not going to even try to replicate the whistle sound, but I think you all know what it sounds like. It's kind of that high-pitched, electronic-sounding whistle, and I wish I had the actual, script in front of me for promotions, but needless to say, I guess now Rear Admiral Tahan, you can pretty much embellish as much as you like. And why don't we make it an actual scene? Why don't you embellish a little bit? Tell us about how great your choice of new captain is going to be, and maybe give these crew an inspirational message or two.
Yes. What's the start date?
The stardate, as Klein said, I believe, is stardate 51627.3, and I'll put that in chat. So that is the stardate.
On stardate 51627.3, Captain Crowley is requested and required by Starfleet Command to take over as commanding officer of the USS Thunderchild. Assembled here are several fine officers who will do Starfleet, their family, and everyone proud. Captain, couldn't have happened to a better officer.
Thank you, sir. And I accept the responsibility of the crew and the ship, and to uphold the integrity of Starfleet.
Yeoman?
And Yeoman sounds the whistle again, and on cue, everyone begins clapping and cheering, and few people start to sort of shuffle their way towards you, Captain Crowley, to give you a congratulatory handshake and congratulations.
I shake their hands. Who am I all seeing here from the Arcadia crew?
I would say, I'm not going to throw every token on this map, but I would say, since the captain specifically put out feelers, you would see pretty much everyone from the senior staff of the Arcadia would be there. So Klein, Bryn, Janice. Hyde is actually absent because I think we're going to have to replace her as a player, unfortunately. And you're also seeing Tivna. You're seeing some of your favorite supporting characters. Hylong is there. Alon is there. Sin is there. Terra's there. Basically, everyone that we've interacted with so far, and you guys have enjoyed as characters, are there.
Cool. Is Jeffrey there? No, I'm just kidding.
Jeffrey the Gorn?
No, Jeffrey the Optitron with the combat for his
Oh,
nose.
that Jeffrey. No, he is literally across the galaxy from where you are.
Darn.
Can someone be holding up a pad with his face on it, like Skype did?
I mean, if you give me a little bit of warning, I probably could have arranged it, but no, unfortunately.
Jeffrey is my favorite. Alright. When I meet Klein, Klein, what am I sensing from you?
Let me think here for that. You're sensing a little bit more calm from him from the events on the Hamilton. And even though he and you might have been at odds for a bit after the events on the Hamilton, he does have a small sense of pride seeing you be promoted.
Yeah. Imagine as I'm shaking Klein's hand. Klein?
Yes, Captain.
I'm requesting that you transfer to the Thunderchild.
To serve as what exactly, if I may ask?
Well, I told you once that I wanted to see you grow into position. I wanted to see you grow to be a first fine officer. I think I had a mini stroke right there. Let me say that again. To see you grow into a fine first officer. It's unorthodox to have someone of your rank be given that position, but I think giving you promotion and then having you take the position for EXO, that should be fine. I'll talk with the Rear Admiral, but this way I can watch you grow. I can teach you, and at the same time you can show me how you've changed. I have a lot of hope for you.
Would I be able to have some time to think about this?
Sure. We're not out of dry dock for a little while.
I it as hard as I can, and I'll try to get to an answer to you soon.
I look forward to it. Either answer. But you do have that position, if you so desire.
Of course. Thank you.
Captain?
Well, he's Rear Admiral now. He's learned not to respond to Captain. He's learned quickly.
And also, his player had a mouthful of chips, but that's not important.
Just the Captain. Captain, I want to introduce you to someone that's going to be transferring to the Arcadia.
All right.
I'm just going to point out into the crowd. The tallest person you can see. The big Zindi reptilian.
Yeah,
Gold.
No,
that's
for a second, I think it's our admiral.
That's my friend from Earth's dry dock. He came out here to do the refit on the Arcadia, and he's angry.
Why is he angry?
Oh, I'll let him tell you, and I'm just gonna wave him on over. And
Alright, so Zakul wanders on over, and he's your character, so I'm gonna let you play him.
so
I just
Zakul,
whisper to. Well, I whisper to Commander Crowley first as he's coming up. So far, I'm not liking your captain. Your captaincy. All right.
so question for the GM.
Yeah, what's up?
In the novelization of the reptilians, they are big.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how we're portraying them in the game as well, or are we going off the show where everyone's human-sized actors?
I'm gonna go with human-sized actors. They can still be like high-long size, so they could be like 7 feet tall if you want them to be.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking he'd be.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just, I would say nothing beyond 7'5", because once you get past that, it's giant territory.
Yeah. Well, yeah, seven's fine.
Okay.
And yeah, everyone's just like clearing a path because they're like, oh, it's a Zindi reptilian. Shit. And he gets up to you, Captain, and he just looks at you Rear Admiral. He just looks at you. He's like, I'll be reporting to you from now on, I assume.
That's correct.
Okay. First things first. Maintenance of the Sovereign class needs to be increased across the whole board. Your bioneural gel packs, they're starting to get gray on them. That means they're dying. No one's been changing them out, or at least giving them new nutrients. Who do you have, that's doing this? Who's your operational manager?
NPC blah blah blah.
Well, fire him. I'm bringing myself on board your ship to be that position now. I've already cleared it with a few folks back at Dry Dock. They're fine with me taking a leave of absence to come aboard this ship, considering the ship I helped made, too.
Well, then I do have to thank you. Lieutenant Commander, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a bit... what's the word? Rough.
I'll just hold out my hand. Welcome aboard.
Oh yes, a polite gesture of shaking one's hands to show that you're not armed with a weapon. Yes, and he'll just grab your hand and just really give it a really good squeeze. And it's like, is this what you want?
Who said I wasn't armed with a weapon?
Who says I'm not you?
Well, as I said, welcome aboard, Lieutenant Commander.
Be making sure the
Now
ship...
get moving! Those bioneural gel packs need attending to.
What do you think I've been doing for the last month? They're already taken care of. I'm doing the next thing of helping the engineers aboard this station help unfasten the sealed bolts on the saucer. New little feature that the Sovereign was supposed to have. Didn't get clearance, so they shelved it. I'm here to unshelf it.
I've been looking forward to that.
So have I. There's been a few tests done. Hopefully no one dies this time.
At this point, has the Enterprise E been constructed?
Yes, so the Enterprise E, as far as I'm aware, is actually just coming out of dry dock, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I think it's made right after Trials and Tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, we should read the Sovereign class of the Enterprise because it did the Earth defense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, when did first... Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely... First contact has happened. So yeah, it's definitely way out of dry dock at this point.
Alright, I'll just lean over. It's like, does the Enterprise already have this?
No, the fools at the fleet yards decided to use self-sealing stem bolts on the saucer separations for the other models. Your ship is the prototype.
Do you drink, Lieutenant Commander?
No. Well, the blood of my enemies.
But not Romulan ale?
Again, blood of my enemies. It's an actual brand.
Well... Oh!
That's
I'll
a
have
joke.
to check my...
I don't drink.
Well, I owe you one.
No, you're the people at the Fleet Yards one. I'm just part of a small team that helped design it. And I'm the only one here that wants to be aboard the ship when they retest it, too.
Why is that?
As I said, death.
I'm
kidding. My humor is what has been called very dry. No, that's not the word.
Somewhere Bryn shouts, "Is that big old reptile or big old lizard giving you trouble, Rear Admiral? Because I will come over and kick his ass if you need me to. I've got hypo sprays at the ready."
Doctor, I'd like to see you try.
Why is there a meatball talking to me?
A meatball?
All right, you're gonna have to sort that out with him. I'll go get some sauce.
Crowley's just grinning from ear to ear.
Oh, I think those two characters are going to get along swimmingly whenever Bryn is back.
Oh my god.
And that's
Alright.
cool.
So it is at this point in the session where we do have to do housekeeping. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to draw a line down the middle of this map. And everything to the left is going to be on the Arcadia, and everything to the right is going to the Thunderchild. So we already have Zakul over here. Crowley, you're over here now.
Wow.
And I'll mess with names as part of this housekeeping. So who is going where? So it looks like Donick, you're going over to the Thunderchild. All right, I can move that sheet.
I did have a support con for the Arcadia as well, since I'm taking my other support from the Arcadia to the Thunderchild.
Yeah, I mean, this is supporting characters as well. So if you have a specific supporting character you want to take with you, throw him on the line.
He's not made yet.
Oh, okay. I will just give you an extra sheet to mess with then.
I gotta find a picture now too. Damn.
I will say that after will probably be like a few days of thinking, Klein will actually take up Commander Crowley's offer to serve as XO.
Alrighty. So let me slap you on here. Okay. Klein, I would say that what is your reputation at the moment? Let me ask that.
Let me look really quick. I believe it's 11, but let me double check. Yep, it's 11. Because originally it would be 14, but I took the Star Cross as an award.
I would say since you did take the Star Cross, you could also get a promotion to Lieutenant Commander if you so wish.
Okay.
So we have those 4 characters. Any other characters that are moving at this point?
Could I keep Los as a supporting character, but move him to the Thunderchild?
You certainly can do so.
That's only if no one wants to take up a con spot over there. I think I might transfer his department.
Okay. I'm just going to say he's probably just going to be your main character over there.
I have a
Unless you
different
have him
main
in
character.
mind.
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay.
I'll go last.
Okay. So I'll just throw him under the supporting characters folder for now. Let's see what else. Okay. So Janice, are you going over to the Thunderchild or are you staying on the Arcadia?
Nope, I'm gonna stay on the Arcadia.
All right. What is your reputation at the moment? I don't think you've been around for them, but do you remember what your reputation might have been?
My character, I've been keeping track of it on my character, so
Oh, cool.
should be in my attributes. Son of... Let's see. Where did I go? There I am. Attributes and abilities. Pretty sure I kept it on there. I wouldn't have just rolled off.
Yeah, because as far as I know, these sheets don't have the fields for them, but
They're on the gear page?
Oh, wow. Okay, I look now. You have 16.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm up there.
Yeah, so I'll say this. You can take a promotion as well. And something I need to say, so everyone who's getting a promotion, you need to reset your reputation to 10.
Okay.
That's something I think they forgot to put in the book, isn't it?
It's I think literally a throwaway line.
Yeah, there is a line in there that says it resets to 10. But
I have always missed that, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of that throwaway line that a character that is assisting someone can't buy momentum, dice with momentum or determination, and I didn't know that until I literally sat down and reread the book from top to bottom. So there's a lot of little things like that. All right, so Janice, I'm going to throw you to the line on the left. I believe you now become Lieutenant Commander, yes?
Yeah, I'm just trying to change my...
Okay,
Go.
you become Lieutenant Commander. Klein,
you
also
changing that line?
Commander.
Yeah, you changed that line. Okay.
There we go. All right, let's see what else. Obviously, Bryn is staying. Hyde is going to just transfer off. She is... unless she shows up in the next 10 minutes, she is just going to retire as a character. Let's see what else. Any other supporting characters that are moving over to the Thunderchild?
No, I'm pretty sure I have my supporting character over there.
Okay. What is your supporting character's name?
Hold on.
Gundok, right?
Yeah, Gundok. Yeah.
Okay. So let me get him on here, because this is also going to be when I sit down later and basically change all the tokens around. This is what he is. So he is a lieutenant commander as well. Alrighty.
Yeah, he's a tactical officer carryover from the as a legacy character from on that ship. So.
Okay. So stress. Pop all these boxes. Okay. His token is all set up. All right. Who else is going over? Or are there any characters I should be made aware of?
I guess the character I had for the Thunderchild originally will be transferring to the Arcadia.
Okay.
That's Gonluke that's on there.
Gonluke. Okay. Ah, the Klingon. All right.
Yes.
And what? Let's see. You had him initially listed as the executive officer of the Thunderchild.
Yeah.
Do you
I can
want...
change some of his stuff around.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I don't think so... play the same role on two ships.
Right. So I guess this is also a question for Tahan. Do you want to keep Foster as your XO, or do you want to have Klein take up that role? Because if so, he could say the executive officer, but otherwise, yeah, you're going to have to pick a different sort of department or role for Gunloke.
I will say that the captain does recognize that Klingon from stuff that he and I discussed out of game.
Wait. Yes. That's my XO.
All right.
Yeah. I think I know what I want to do with Foster.
All right. What do you want to do with Foster?
I think I'm going to put her on that Akira class that I eventually get.
Okay.
Yeah. Make her either the XO or CO of that. But yeah, I want this guy. We go back.
All right. There's his token set up.
I'll do something for Janice, though.
Okay.
I give him full rights and transferability of the Roddenberry.
Oh.
Okay, that warms my heart now.
I can't take it with me. It's too big.
Yeah, the Thunderchild is definitely not big enough to support it.
It can barely support a Type 10. There's actually some debate about that. There was like, does it have a Type 10? No, it doesn't.
No, it has some specialized thing.
It's going to be really weird to be in command of both a ship named Thunderchild and an Akira class, and they're not the same ship. That's going to be weird.
I'm half tempted to literally have the Thunderchild as your other ship, but that would just be too confusing.
Well, we could rename the Thunderchild, and I already know what name I would pick.
Oh, what would you name it? I'll note it down.
It's the USS Roddenberry.
Well, that's not going to get confusing at all. Let me... this is... Alright, so let me note this.
So then what's the Roddenberry becoming?
The Roddenberry.
That's my choice.
Yeah, I'll let Janice choose.
So that's the Roddenberry. All right, I will. I'll get that sheet.
Oh, wait. We can talk about this, but maybe the Desilu?
You'd have to spell it out, but yeah.
Desilu. It's the like I Love Lucy, her production company that saved Star Trek.
Oh.
Desilu Productions.
Honestly, I'm not familiar with them, but I'll take your word for it. Alright, so let's see what else, character sheet-wise. Alright, so, Gundok, you're already set up. Good. Crowley, Klein, Lowe. So let's start doing a little bit of character generation here. So who is not represented on the Thunderchild side at this point?
I think that would be me.
Okay.
And Bryn. But
All right.
Bryn had chosen something already.
I believe Bryn had talked about
Was he going to be tactical?
security.
Yeah. So, well, I know it's safe because I don't think he wants to play the same thing. I'm going to play a Betazoid chief medical officer / counselor that was recommended by Nilan.
Okay.
And I want that to be my Thunderchild character.
Okay. So go ahead and start working on that since we're here. If you need the builder, which is great as long as you don't do, say, a Lieutenant Tivna build, there is the link to the builder, and it has pretty much everything you'll ever need. It's very intuitive, and if you need help with it, just shout. So while the captains, or I guess the rear admiral's working on that, I guess I actually need to put his token on here too, so I remember to change it. So that's everybody on the Thunderchild, I believe. Yes? Have I missed anyone?
Hmm.
All right. Well, if I do, we'll figure it out. So let's go back to the Arcadia for a moment. So the captain's represented, Janice is represented, Crowley is represented, Klein is represented, Bryn isn't changing, so I think we're okay on the Arcadia front.
Yep.
But on the other side of that, we do have some promotions. Hailong is going to Senior Chief. So let me throw her on there. Alon, yours... Oh, God, he is super tiny. He is also getting a promotion to Senior Chief.
Yay!
Because I'm not exactly sure if we're going to get a new engineer, but I will certainly try.
Wait, isn't Sakul an engineer?
He's engineer science.
Oh, okay.
Built him as an operational.
Yeah. So what's going to happen with that is Hailong is going to... Let me check Hailong's stats real fast.
I guess he could do engineering.
Yeah,
like
well...
he has a 5 in engineering, but he's split between both science and engineering in terms of focuses and talents.
Yeah, as
they
far
kind
as...
but they also kind of split too. Like technical expertise can be for both. Nick of Time is both. Computer expertise is both. The only one that's truly engineering is Miracle Worker.
Gotcha. So I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to actually shift Hailong from Ops Manager to Tactical Officer. And she can do that. She has a security of 4, so that shouldn't be a problem. So I think that'll actually be a good change for her. We'll get to see her in a different capacity. Let's see. I think that's all the I guess sort of as a question. So Sin has been with you guys for a while now as a Lieutenant Junior grade. I believe you guys refer to it as sort of a probationary period. What are you guys going to do with Sin?
I think she's earned a full lieutenant.
I actually have that handout for Haru's orders here. Let me look here. How long ago would stardate 48639.0 be?
Oh, that's years. That's like 2 years, 3 years, maybe.
I think she's earned the full lieutenant at this point.
All right. So she and Hailong will basically man tactical. Whichever one of them is on duty is... One of them will be on duty for tactical. All right. Okay, so that's all the supporting characters. Let's see. I already have the Thunderchild sheet in there, which is good. I already believe I have the Arcadia's New sheets in there. Yeah, I have the secondary and primary hull that are in there. So, yeah, any other character changes we need to make while I've got you guys here?
While we're here, the one supporting character I had that we had discussed before, Ensign Densho would be, I guess we'll say she's on the starbase and is being transferred from the starbase to the Arcadia.
Okay.
He's tiny.
Yeah, I gotta resize tokens here. All right, so I'll deal with that one in a moment. Densho is using Delix's token. Oh, because you changed
Yeah, I changed it from Delix to Densho.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta completely delete that token then. All right. So Densho edit. Yes. All right. So what is her rank? An ensign.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Right. Ensign Densho stress. Do. Okay. Check all these boxes. All right. Any other character changes that I should be made aware of? This new token, Ensign
Walter King.
Is he Arcadia or is he Thunderchild?
He is Arcadia.
Okay, gotta move him down.
He's someone that Janice can boss around.
Ah, it's always a good thing. All right, let's see.
Well, for two reasons. Not because he's an ensign, but also because he's another pilot.
Oh. Okay. Junior pilot.
He's a junior.
Yeah.
Okay. And then edit token you selected. Okay, is that everyone's character sorted?
Does the Thunder... Sorry, I've been working on my other character.
That's okay.
Does the Thunderchild have a pilot yet?
I believe not at the moment, no.
Would it be possible, since I'm making a doctor, to do Los as a pilot character? I might have to remake a sheet. I'm willing to remake him as a supporting character, even though he's become a full one.
I would say he's got a 3 in con. You can just say that, and yeah, that's the other thing too, is that we are all due for an arc milestone. So everybody's getting an arc, and that means you can. Well, I gave everyone an arc last time, so let me take that back. Janice, if you haven't already done an arc, this is your chance to do said arc. The rules for that are on page 133 or thereabouts of core.
Okay, I'll have to read through it.
Yeah. And I was going to say, did you use your spotlight and your regular milestone Tahan on yourself, or did you save them?
I saved my regular milestone. The other ones have already been used.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could just use that milestone to change out one of Los's focuses to have helm operation.
I might do that. That's a good point.
Okay. Alrighty. So that's all set up.
Let's see. I'm going to do something neat for Klein.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have... is there a tailor aboard the Starbase?
Oh, more than one. But you're definitely not going to have Garrick.
Oh, it's okay. Aww. I'm going to have tailor-made uniform. And I'm going to get the exact specifications off the transporter pad.
Okay.
And when that's done, I'm going to hand-deliver it to him.
Yeah, you guys can play out that scene while I continue to do some work here on the side.
I guess I'll, theater of the mind. Meet Klein somewhere on the station.
Captain, hello.
Lieutenant Commander, First Officer. This is for you.
It was weird to be called both of those, but...
Have a seat.
Of course, I'll sit down.
How much do you know about me? About my past?
A little bit, but not a whole lot, if I'm going to be honest.
Hamilton. I came down on you very hard about that. Probably more than what you thought was necessary. Do you know why I did that?
He'll just kind of shake his head no.
I was at Wolf 359. I was aboard the USS Arcadia. I was on my way to the bridge as it got hit. The emergency force shield kicked in and stopped me from being sucked down into space. I saw the massive hole. Everyone that I respected, admired, and was taught by was pulled out into space. They had no chance to think about it. They had no chance to escape it. Most people, regardless of how well they're trained, would collapse upon that. They would fold into themselves and shut down. In a way, I did that to you by coming down on you very hard. I wanted to see if you would collapse upon yourself. And you didn't. Instead, you got angry at me, and you pushed through. I've seen that you've been doing different tasks, taking on new responsibilities, trying to make yourself a... what's that instrument called? The Swiss Army knife. Trying to be more than what you were. That's why I want you as my XO. That's why I got you this. And I'm just slide over the uniform from. I know the replicators will make you one just the same, but yeah, I figured it'd be better.
I'll wear it proudly, Captain.
And I'm going to give you one order. It's a standing order.
Yes.
I get to go on some away missions. Not everyone, but some.
I can agree to some, but we'll see how that plays out.
Very well. Well, have fun doing crew schedules, evaluations, and reports. I've given you not only the position of authority, and all the responsibility that goes with it. And I guess see how it's like to be a captain. Or look at a few reports a day, instead of having to make them all.
Yeah. Takes some getting used to, but I'm sure with time I'll get used to it.
Sure you will. Well, dismissed.
Thank you, Captain.
And I'll stand up and give Klein a salute.
And I'll salute back.
I'll make my way to my ship. That's gonna be weird to say.
Yeah.
My ship.
Yeah, it's going to take some getting used to. Okay, alright, I think I've got all the character sheets sorted out at this point. And let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other housekeeping we need to do at the current moment. I don't think there is.
Oh, I'm totally gonna fangirl my promotion to Nilan. Send him a message.
Okay, cool.
Send him a message, and I'm gonna send Matic a message, and Andromeda.
Okay. Noted.
Send all three. And besides my personal belongings for my quarters, I'm gonna take a few flowers from the arboretum that Andromeda made. Yeah.
Okay.
And install a locking mechanism so that the pot can't fly around anywhere.
Probably a good idea.
Little thing I can pull over to keep everything safe while we're in combat. Like, no.
see. I had a couple scenes I wanted to play out if I could.
Certainly, this is kind of just an open-ended scene sort of opportunity for anyone who's interested.
I would actually like to do one of Gonluke's talent is Roostai is what I took.
Mm-hmm.
And I would actually kind of like to play that out with Tahan if we can, basically in the form of the Klingon tea ceremony.
You certainly can do so.
Right. I'll obviously probably get in contact with Bryn to have him make an antidote for the tea, because I'll be using the real stuff.
Okay. So yeah, Bryn provides that, no problem. He does tell you that it's a stupid thing to do, and that as your doctor, he can't really recommend that you go through with it. But if you're going to be an idiot, he'll give it to you anyway.
Alrighty.
It's almost like he's here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would actually, trying to figure out where I want that to be on the ship. Probably just like an empty room on the ship would do if I can find one.
Okay.
The ship probably has like a chapel, honestly. Like a multi-faith kind of room.
Yeah, it would have something to that effect.
Okay, then I will meet him there. Obviously, Theater of the Mind.
Mm-hmm.
And as you would be walking into the room, Captain, he would be, well, Admiral. Jesus, Pete. It's going to take a little getting used to.
I mean, you can still call me Captain while I'm commanding the ship.
Right.
I think.
Yes.
Cool.
As
Yes.
you walk in, Admiral, you'll see Gonluke kind of preparing the ceremony. And he kind of turns, and you see his cybernetic leg and arm that you both were that he was getting used to, along with your spine when you were both in that hospital. Athos. It's been a long time.
Old friend.
And I'll just kind of pull him into a tight hug. To think I'd be serving on a ship with you.
You don't think that was by chance, do you?
I'm sure you probably pulled some strings.
Truth was no one else wanted you.
Well, good to be here. I've actually set up the Klingon tea ceremony because, well, Athos, for lack of a better way of putting it, I consider you a brother, and I wanted to kind of symbolize that.
You don't know how...
And I'll hand him the antidote to the tea.
Do I drink this before or after?
If I remember correctly, in the Next Generation, when Worf did it with, it wasn't Dr. Crusher. Who's the doctor after her? Pulaski. She took the antidote before, if memory serves.
Yep, she hypersprayed herself, and then they went on with the ceremony.
No, take it before.
All right. It's my honor.
To quote a Klingon proverb, a leader is judged not by the length of his reign, but by the decisions he makes. You've made a lot of good decisions to get where you are, Athos. I look forward to serving with you.
Likewise.
And then
Kapla!
and I will sip the tea.
All right.
I will as well.
So out of curiosity, I'm getting the sense, or at least I'm guessing, that this was someone you knew during your recovery period, yes?
That's right. This was right before I decided to go to the Starfleet Academy. Or right before I graduated the symbiosis school.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty.
I have a fun one for Janice.
Sure, where do you want to meet him?
Zakul's gonna meet him in his quarters.
Okay, of course, it's the one map I don't have, so we'll just theoretically mind it.
It's okay. He has summoned the con officer.
All right. So yeah, go right ahead.
Just the moment you enter in, it is hot.
Oh. I approach the door and ring the courtesy bell to enter.
Come forth.
And I walk in, and you can just see me just grimace as the heat hits my antenna and my face. A little bit of just thick sweat already starts beating just moments after I walk in. Yes, sir.
Hello. You are the pilot of the ship.
Yes, sir. Especially when it's in trouble.
Oh. I have a data pad here for you. And he holds one up, and if you step closer, you notice it gets warmer.
And I just approach courteously but cautiously and reach over. Grab the
Hand it
pad
to
from
you.
his hand.
It is instructions on saucer separation and redocking procedures. Please familiarize yourself with this. Failure to do so might mean death or destruction of the vessel.
And I just kind of peruse over it in a manner that would be kind of just like, okay. I just kind of, yes, sir, I'll read it very closely.
Tell me, how has the sovereign vessel been faring in combat?
We have done well to this point, sir. I mean, we brought it back intact, even though we've taken a little bit of damage along the way.
And you believe she has performed well?
Well, yes, sir. I mean, this was once the side note. This was originally the Sovereign, right?
Yes.
Yes, it was the original Sovereign that got mothballed, and then when the original Arcadia, the Nova class, sort of almost got destroyed, they took this out of retirement.
Yeah, I was just making sure before I said something that was wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. For the prototype, she has performed adequately.
Oh, she's still very much a prototype. Some features haven't been brought online. I've noticed that some programs have been deactivated or moved. I'll have to investigate further about those ones.
Yes,
well,
sir. Yes, sir. That was a call made not by me. I want all the capabilities possible, but we work with what I got.
Well, I'll be working closely with you as these procedures are brought back on and tested. And as flight controller, I need your input. You will be, of course, handling the ship. You will tell me if something's off, and I will correct it.
Understood, sir.
Oh, yes, you don't like the teat. Is that correct?
Oh, no, sir. I like it nice and cold, nice, smooth, 10 Celsius.
Computer, raise the temperature by 10 more degrees.
That 10 Celsius or 10 Fahrenheit?
Let's say Celsius.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
You're a monster.
I am a reptilian, first. My species are viewed as being hostile and unforgiving. We have a tenacity for being brutal. Unfortunately, I am a bit different. I prefer to be the scalpel. You can do more damage with 1,000 cuts. It takes longer for your enemy to die. You're going to be dealing with a lot of new features. I need you to be functioning 100% even at the most uncomfortable conditions.
Yes, sir. I understand that. Just as a side note, though, this is even warm by standard human.
Yes, well, I'm cold-blooded.
I just like it cold.
Yeah. I think we'll get along just fine. You're dismissed.
Very well, sir. And I walk out, and immediately make a mental note that I'm going to see me about temperature adjustments to the engineer.
All right.
Question.
All right.
With Hylong being moved to tactical, who would be acting as chief science officer aboard the Arcadia?
Well, that would now actually be Zakul. Zakul at Ops is what Hylong used to be.
Okay, gotcha.
So I do engineering, maintenance, and science.
In that case,
Is it okay if I might I have an idea. I might try to switch up computer expertise for multidiscipline and take engineering, chief engineer as well.
So I would hold off on that. I
Oh,
am
God,
going
he's
to try and
huge.
recruit a chief engineer.
Okay.
But I will let you know if we need to have you multidiscipline like that. The reason I say that is because it is a little odd for the chief engineer to be on the bridge 24/7. Usually the chief engineer is contained within engineering. Sort of like how we never saw Harry Kim sort of get promoted from ops to something else because there needs to be a presence both in engineering and on the bridge.
True. It's a big ship.
It is a big ship. All right.
Yeah, if we don't get someone that wants to be that role, if they want to be ops, then I'll switch.
Okay.
But he is designed for tasks.
in that case, from what we had discussed before, is it still okay that Ensign Densho is an android, or?
I would say let's refer to our previous conversation on that. So
Okay.
I believe it's okay as long as it's not a sort of the initial thing you ran by me. Something a bit more refined than that, and it would be okay.
Gotcha.
Zakul's gonna look at the. How do you say her name?
Densho.
No. The Klingon.
Oh, just the last name is pronounced Gonluke.
Gonluke. Commander Gonluke.
Yes.
Federation Bridge. Other side. Point into the other chair. That's.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, Admiral Captain Dahan.
Just captain's fine.
Okay. If you have any concerns about any of the equipment aboard the vessel, please let me know. I've gone over with the maintenance teams, and I've increased their duty by 20%. We also have 2 new teams started as well to get caught up.
You can coordinate all day-to-day operations with my first officer.
Good. I'm sure he'll appreciate the extra paperwork I'll be sending his way. But if you happen to notice anything yourself, please do not hesitate to ask. I'll be more than happy to take it all apart and see if I can fix it.
Noted, Commander, Lieutenant Commander.
And he's just going to stare at Senior Chief Hylong for a while.
Oh, she'll stare back at you and give you that same sort of steely "I will kill you" gaze if you let her.
He'll just grin. Okay, back to this.
Alright. So, does anyone else have any scenes they'd like to handle? Because if not, we'll just bring this session to a close.
I would actually, if we can,
Sure.
I would like to have Ensign Densho meet Lieutenant Commander Zakul in stellar cartography.
I actually have stellar cartography.
Hello.
Yeah, you're
That's an old token.
That's a really old token. Alright, so there's Zakul. I'll shrink him down.
I am big. Aw.
And Densho. I just had you. There you are. Alright, go for it.
The first thing she'd actually be doing, if we can actually do a roll here.
Sure.
She would be kind of looking over the map of the surrounding area, see if there's anything odd within the surrounding area, whether that's like a spatial anomaly or something of the other sort.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you roll me a reason science, and
All right.
the ship will assist with sensor science. And the difficulty is really all of a 1.
Okay. She has probably just one focus that applies here. Astrological phenomena.
Yeah, it would apply.
All right. Reason science.
Yeah. Don't even need to roll the ship. You got the successes you need.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to tell that there's a few sort of subspace blips, but nothing alarming or out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Really, a lot of the activity you're picking up is along the actual border. And I would say that even then, it's just sort of remnants from fleet movement. It's nothing, shall we say, noteworthy.
Gotcha. Okay. She just kind of sighs, like, thought I'd learned something new today. And then she'll turn around and see Lieutenant Commander Zakul, and just like, Lieutenant Commander, it's a pleasure to meet you.
I have been summoned.
Yes, I figure since you are working in operations, I should make myself known to you. If you haven't looked over the crew list yet for the science division.
Not quite, but I am getting there.
Now, I'm trying to think here. With Zindi reptilians, did they exude that heat naturally, or is that just in the quarters it was really hot?
Oh, this is quarters.
Oh, okay. And she kind of walks up to you and extends her hand. My name is, well, my creator likes to call me Densho.
He'll take your hand and give the same firm squeeze he gave to the captain.
She doesn't seem bothered by it.
Densho, is it?
Yes. Have you ever worked with an android before, Lieutenant Commander?
Oh. No, I've not. I have been interested, though, in the one called Commander Data.
Yes, he's interesting, to say the least, but unlike the Soong types, I'm not a walking database as Commander Data might have been. Dr. Montonk built me to have natural curiosity, as it were. I'm built more to learn than to teach, if that makes sense.
Well, in one way, we're all walking databases, all trying to learn. So, yes.
Well, say I've never met a Zindi reptilian before, but I look forward to learning about you and about this crew as I get more experience.
Do not compare me to the other reptilians. I'm an anomaly compared to them.
Just as I'm an anomaly compared to other androids, sir.
Well, as I've been making everyone aware, if you have any technical issues, please let me know. I'll take a look at it. And I guess if you have a malfunction, I hope you don't. I have a knack for taking things apart.
And she kind of looks a little nervous for a second, and I'll let you know.
Good. And, yeah, that's everything. He's just gonna look at her for a few seconds and then turn around and leave.
And she'll just go back to looking over the stellar cartography maps of the area.
I do have one request, Jim.
Yeah, what's up?
We test the saucer separation.
Let's save that for next time, because I want to make an actual thing for it.
Okay.
Meaning that there will be a good in-character reason for you to actually saucer separate.
And are we...
I'm hoping it'll get you momentum, kind of a thing.
And are we leaving dry dock? Are we out of dry dock, or are we saving that for the departure for next session?
Next session will be your departure.
All right. Let's see. I guess we could also do, if there's still time, if you want to, if anyone wants to, we could do the introduction of the other characters on the Thunderchild.
Yeah, we can certainly do that. It's up to you guys, really.
I don't think my character will be here until like right before the ship launches.
Okay.
Because he's still on Beta Z.
Well, I tell you what we can do is I'm curious to what you guys want to do with this Akira class. So I'm pretty much putting in its stats now, but I'd like you guys to select what sort of role it fills, or whatever it's actually called. Its mission profile, that's what it's called. So what sort of mission profile do you guys want to give it?
Well,
go ahead.
So ours, the Sovereign, or the Arcadia's got what? Forget. What role is she filling?
Let's see here.
Is she command?
I believe so.
Which would make sense with the Admiral. I mean, even if we have it modified for a command purpose, that would make a lot of sense.
Federation Legacy. Oh no, that's technical test bed. Technical test bed.
Yeah, technical test bed then.
Okay. Is there any reason to keep that and not have her, since she's being modified, or since she's being repaired, can we modify her to a command since she's carrying an Admiral now? Because that'll help out.
Well,
that'll help out with the Akira, with the Defiant class.
What's the word I'm looking for? What's her command or department at the moment?
2.
Yeah, so back before we decided we weren't doing any fleet combat, I had taken the fleet commander talent, which made its command of 4 during fleet combat. But now I don't have that anymore since we decided we're not doing that anymore. So it is a 2.
Okay. I would say what you're after, though, Janice, is you're specifically after the command ship talent for the ship.
Well, it would make sense that she would be a command ship for the fact that she is now going to be a admiral with a supporting ship. Mm-hmm. So that gives us a couple capabilities that we can support the Defiant in a field capability. Does that make sense?
It does. So I would recommend then using your arc milestone to up the sheet.
Okay.
So for your arc milestone, and I'll pull up the rules here. For everyone else looking at the Akira class, the mission profiles start on page 251 of Core. Yep. As for your arc milestone, let's see.
Because the reason I go with that is because if we do that, then we can round it out, since we have 3 ships, even though the one ship will not be on the field, but type of thing. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
He could use his spotlight to turn engineering to a 3 and a command to a 3 then. Just shift 1 point and then an arc to... Oh, no, I guess he could actually give his arc to the command, make it 3, and then change one of the talents, because there is no trait mission profile that's command. It's just a talent that's command.
I thought there was... Hold on, I thought there was... Oh, go ahead, I'm looking at something.
That changes a lot of this. That would change, I think, 3 of our departments if we switched from one profile to another. Our engineering would decrease by 1. Our con would go down by 1, and our command would go up by 2.
We say it was, what was that? 223. GM.
For your arc, it is page.
No. For the here we go. Never mind.
Okay.
Mission profile.
So the thing about mission profile, you can't really swap between mission profiles. It's because that's what the ship was built for, kind of a thing.
Well, I mean, a technical test bed. I'm just saying. Here's my thought. A technical test bed would mean it was something that was done to get the ship online and to test things out. But now that she's in the field, that she would be able to. They would put her in a more permanent usage type of thing. I'm sorry. I'm just.
No, I mean, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I think what I'm trying to say is, from a narrative standpoint, you are completely correct, and that is the case. from a mechanics standpoint, if you want to say give them the command ship talent, which is basically what you're after, you would have to use your arc milestone, or no, because you've already added the saucer separation. You would have to use your spotlight milestone to swap out one of the existing talents for command ship.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Just a side note. I was looking at the strategic and diplomatic operations as being a command ship type thing. Because it says vessels equipped with strategic and diplomatic operations are often placed under the command of flag officers, which an admiral is, and uses the heart of squadrons, battle groups, and even whole fleets. These ships in the prestige. So I'm just saying, like future type thing. This would be. I mean, it would bump up our command because we're in technical test bed. So what would we be losing? I'm just looking here. So engineering would go down. Basically, engineering would go down 1, and command would go up.
Engineering and con, but so like these aren't. I think what you're saying, GM, is that we can't. There's not a mechanic way to change out the mission profiles. We can narratively say that the mission profile has changed, but we would have to spend the resources to change each of these stats.
That is correct. Yes.
And we're capped on talent, so we can't add anything because I add.
Yeah, but we can change them.
Yeah, change things.
And I think that is something we should consider. But for the Akira class we're getting in, I really like it as a crisis and emergency response craft, because if I remember, they have ridiculous transporter capabilities. I think they can beam up in half a colony in an hour.
And if you could also give them extensive shuttle bays as well, which would just basically turn it into a carrier.
Yeah, I kind of like that if you guys are into that. And then we've got the Defiance, definitely what tactical operations.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
The other thing I would suggest is possibly the multi-role explorer, because that kind of evens her out overall. So we can do no matter. It evens her out depending on the roles, or depending on the missions we send her on.
I like that as an after-war thing, but I think I agree with you that we at least need to get the command ship talent, probably.
Well, right, and the reason I brought that up was so that we could make a ship group that would complement each other, because technical test bed is kind of a niche type thing, where if we rolled her into a strategic and diplomatic, then we have a ship that's tactical, and then we can have another ship that, see what I'm saying? So they complement each other in a group, versus just having a niche setup for our big ship.
It also kind of fits with what we're doing right now with the new saucer separation, too.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's handle the Akira first. So the Akira,
okay.
I have 1 vote for crisis and emergency response. Does anyone have any other votes they'd like to cast?
I would put in and let the group decide. I think multi-role explorer would be a good one for that as well.
Okay, so we have got 1 vote for crisis, 1 vote for multi-role. Klein and Crowley, which would you two vote for?
Here.
We have 1 ship that goes pew pew pew. 1 ship that can take a good hit. This one here is like the Akira's not going to be with us all the time. It's going to be like the NPC, like Mass Effect, where you send out the teams to do the missions for you, and then they come back later with resources. So it depends on what we send them out to do, really. So multi-role fills that spot well, but I feel at the same time too, like during the war times, having it as a crisis ship is good, because not only can it keep itself safe, it can defend while it's beaming people up. It can beam people up quickly instead of a hospital ship. It would be treated as a battle hospital ship, pretty much. It has teeth, but it can do good. So, really,
So, I mean, if this is something y'all care about, like what getting stats to like 4s and 3s or 4s and 5s and stuff, multi-role explorer gives us a security of 4 and a medicine of 3. Everything else is a 2. Crisis and emergency response, that gives us The same stuff, although our engineering would only be a 1, but we'd have a 4 in both security and medicine. So yeah, the difference between the two proposed right now is -1 point for engineering for crisis, but then we get an extra point in medicine. And then the talents change a bit, which it gives us access to extensive shuttle bays.
And the other thing is make sure remember the Akira is a class 5.
Yeah,
so she's
which
getting.
means you also get a free talent after your mission profile 1.
Oh, but the Kira always has access to that talent anyways. Alright. I like fast targeting systems. Oh no, rapid fire torpedo launcher.
So the Kira's on what page?
238.
Yeah,
and like that's the page at the bottom, not on the PDF.
Okay, then yeah, I'd say let's multi-roll then, because it has the extensive shuttle bay.
Okay.
Well, what else? Oh, let me look. We're gonna get a free one no matter what at the end.
Yeah, we just go back down, and then I was also thinking if we are going to treat it as a recovery ship,
That gets us an EMH.
that or the advanced sick bay.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, my votes have already been in.
All right, so Crowley, what are you officially voting for?
Multi-roll.
Multi-roll. All right, Klein, do you want to tie it up, or do you want to vote for multi-roll as well?
I'm gonna tie it up.
All right, you're
I'm
going to
gonna
tie it
go
up.
for emergency crisis.
I will do the diplomatic thing, and I will simply flip a coin. 1 will be a crisis, and 2 will be multi-roll.
Alrighty.
Congrats, you get a
Multi-roll.
multi-roll.
All right.
All right,
Fair
so
enough.
for your multi-roll, which of those talents would you guys like to pick up?
251's a page.
252.
I would say, 'cause this is a ship that's going to take a beating while it's, beaming up people or trying to shuttle stuff back and forth. Rugged design, improved hull integrity, or redundant systems. I'm down to those 3 right now. I'm going to read those 3.
So
hull integrity is +1 resistance. Rugged design makes fixing it 1 difficulty easier. And what was the other one? Redundant systems comes into play once you have breaches.
Oh, what page is all this stuff on in the PDF?
The talents are on page 255 onward. And you also get to pick a free talent as long as you qualify it.
Blade of Hull.
Well, you already have ablative from the Akira, so you're already at resistance 7.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Okay. Jesus.
And then, yeah, the whole integrity would give us 8.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
I
are you
think
looking
rugged
at,
design.
Charlie?
I think rugged design makes the most sense.
And then for the free one, I think it was advanced sick bays we were mentioning.
I actually really like fast targeting. Just because it always lets us... Oh, I guess with the NPC rules, we don't really care. Huh.
That or
What a,
Advanced shields isn't bad.
advanced shield is good because if it's in a long sustained
Oh.
fight.
If it's multi-role, advanced sensors.
Yeah,
Making sure we find all the life forms.
Advanced sensors is always really good.
it really is.
Like,
It is literally the best
I was about to
ship
say-
talent.
I'm down with that.
All right, well, let's give
what
her
all
advanced
does
sensor
the
suites.
Akira
then.
have?
Oh, sorry. what were you saying?
I said, like, what all do we have in terms of talents for the Akira right now?
Right now, the proposed list is ablative armor, extensive shuttle bays, rapid fire torpedo launcher, rugged design, and advanced sensor suites.
Okay.
That's a good all-around ship.
Yeah.
It's a good multi-role
What
ship.
about if it gets damaged? What about improved damage control?
Well, it does have rugged design, which does
Oh,
make
okay,
fixing
yeah.
it easier.
No, that's true.
And
Never mind.
I think with redundant systems, it's only a minor action to like use that keeps using that system anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, I've already used my supporting my spotlight milestone on Los to make him a con officer. But would you guys be interested in changing the Arcadia's fast targeting system to command ship, or its maybe like its improved power systems?
No, we need to power, especially if we're going to be down to 5 between the saucer and hull.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And you can go above your max. And I don't want to get rid of improved impulse strat because that one's really good. Fast targeting is not as good when you don't care since NPC damage rolls vastly reduce the number of breaches we need to get on other ships.
I say we could replace fast targeting.
It's a great talent, but I think I'm the one that put it on there.
I'm fine with replacing it.
All right, let's make it so. Command ship.
All right, and then I'll start using my own stuff to bump up the. When I get more milestones, I'll start bumping up the command score on the Arcadia.
Yeah, so Janice...
But it makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Janice, do you want to use your Arc milestone or your Spotlight milestone to up the command of the Arcadia?
So it depends how I'm feeling. Am I feeling the group effort? Am I feeling a Janice effort? Because I'd bump the con if it was Janice's effort.
I mean, this is your milestone, so you do as you wish.
What's our con at right now?
A 2. Your command and your con are both a 2.
We need a 3 to get the command ship talent.
Oh, okay.
That's a requirement.
Let's see, I got passed over for XO twice. Let me think here.
I mean, you're the XO of the Roddenberry now, so...
No, he's the CEO of the Roddenberry.
You have command.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and bump up command.
Okay. So that'll be... So do you want to take a point out of something to put it into command, or you just want to add 1 to command? Because if you just add 1, that's your arc. If you swap a point from something else, that's your spotlight.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the... Where is she? Where is she? There she is. Character sheet. Let's see. Got 4, 4, 3. Security. No, I'm not doing security because I also do that too. No, I'll add her a point.
Okay. And then you still have your spotlight if you want to, say, take out of engineering to put into con.
You can do a group thing and a Janice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it from engineering, put it in con, especially seeing our engineers MIA right now, so he don't get a vote.
Alrighty. Okay, so I think that's everybody's sheet is as it should be. Excellent. All right, well, gentlemen, this is where I'm going to end the stream. We'll do a little bit more talking off stream. But to anyone who was watching, hopefully you didn't mind us doing a little bit of housekeeping here. And these guys will be back maybe next week. I'm going to talk with them about that. But for now, stream, thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.